Assalamu alaikum, this is Maria Abid from the platform of 101 Incredible Women of Pakistan. आज हमारे साथ एक बहुत ही इनक्रेडिबल शख्सियत है और ये ऐसा काम कर रही है जिसको जानने के लिए मुझे लगता है कि हर मदर हर फादर को ज़रूरत है. She is co-founder and director of Eye on Ivy. Let's meet her. Assalamu alaikum Shanza.
वालेकुम सलाम.
कैसी हैं आप?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह.
आप इतना यूनिक काम कर रही हैं. Honestly, आपकी प्रोफाइल में देख रही थी और जिस तरह से आप you are helping students, it's incredible.
Thank you so much.
So tell us something about your own journey. You have done so many things and from abroad. So tell us about your educational journey.
So जी, initially I started off my schooling from Lahore, so Convent of Jesus in Mary से, but उसके बाद due to family circumstances, I had to go overseas. So I did my undergraduate in economics from Emory University. मुझे पढ़ाई का बहुत शौक था और मुझे ये भी बड़ा शौक था कि मैं दुनिया में बहुत जल्दी आऊँ. मैंने डबल सेमेस्टर्स किए ताकि मैं कम वक्त में इस फासले को कवर करूँ. तो at the age of 19 I graduated from Emory and उसके बाद I went to the workforce right away. I began with the Federal Reserve Bank in Atlanta. उसके बाद I went to Washington DC and I was working as a junior professional associate. That's their first full-time staff position, and I believe I was the only Pakistani in my cohort. फिर मेरी शादी हो गई, so I asked them to transfer me to the World Bank office in Islamabad. I continued working for 5 years before returning for my master's. I went to Harvard University where I did my degree in public policy. I had a dean's fellowship there. And I continued for the most part being in the development sector for around 22 years.
MashaAllah. So tell us something about your foundation, Eye on Ivy.
So Eye on Ivy is an organizational, educational platform. I started this when I returned to Pakistan 5 years ago, and the genesis was my own daughter. So she was in class 8 at that time. I was looking for internship and volunteer opportunities for her. I went to her school counselors. They told me कि जी आप बहुत जल्दी आई हैं, आप A1 में आए. Whereas जो American system है, अगर आप top universities को देख रहे हैं, and मेरा हमेशा kind of eye होता है on the best possibilities पूरी दुनिया में. It doesn't have to be in America, wherever you may be inclined to go, चाहे Canada है, Australia है, Singapore है. What are the best universities over there? तो I knew कि for America आपको ये process class 9 से शुरू करना चाहिए. And the first thing is to figure out आप पढ़ना या करना क्या चाहते हैं. तो हम psychometric testing से शुरू करते हैं and उसके बाद हम बच्चे को over the course of the year we send them for structured internships in the summer in their area of passion. ये नहीं कि आपने general उनको SOS भेज दिया है या कहीं और भेज दिया है. आप engineering करना चाहते हैं, हम आपको engineering firm भेजेंगे. आप architecture करना चाहते हैं, हम आपको architecture firm भेजेंगे. ताकि you get a real on ground sense of क्या मैं ये profession बड़े होके करना चाहता हूँ.
It's quite helpful क्योंकि normally parents जो हैं वो बचपन से डॉक्टर या इंजीनियर बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे होते हैं अपने बच्चों को, और ऐसा होता भी है कि बच्चे ये खुद से assume कर लेते हैं कि we are good at engineering या हम डॉक्टर बनेंगे, और असल में उनका naturally
inclination शायद ना हो.
बिल्कुल.
तो इससे जी psychometric testing which is an artificial intelligence test. So this is not through me or somebody else giving my opinion. It is a documented test और हम 2 करवाते हैं. हम 2 इसलिए करवाते हैं कि अगर बच्चा is distracted, फोन पे अपने दोस्त से बात कर रहा है या इंस्टाग्राम पे खेल रहा है, we don't want to map out their future, just based on one test. We make them do 2 to verify the results against each other, and उसके बाद in consultation with the parents we analyze the results.
वो analyzation जो है वो mature आपकी हो जाती है.
Right, we take the results that they're saying. The one difference we make is we make it context specific. तो ये जो test हमारे पास हैं, these are Western tests. अभी तक to our knowledge पाकिस्तान specific contest में इस तरह कोई टेस्ट अवेलेबल नहीं है. I know इंडिया में है, but पाकिस्तान में unfortunately अभी नहीं है. तो what we will do is we make those tests or the interpretation in terms of जो career fields recommend हो रही हैं in Pakistan's context. मिसाल के तौर पे यहाँ पे जो टेक्निकल एंड वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग है अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारे सोसाइटी में इसको इतनी अहमियत नहीं दी जाती है. वर्सेस अगर आप जर्मनी में वो देखें, आपको क्लास 5 में ही वो बाइफिकेट कर देंगे. आपने क्या एकेडमिक स्ट्रीम की तरफ जाना है या आपने टेक्निकल स्ट्रीम की तरफ जाना है. हमारी सोसाइटी में अनफॉर्चुनेटली टेक्निकल स्ट्रीम को
माइनस किया हुआ है.
एग्जैक्टली
वो इवन ग्रेजुएशन के बाद भी नहीं पता चलता बच्चे को
तो
कि क्या करना है.
हम हमारी सोसाइटी के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में ऑपरेट करते हैं और फिर हम उनको प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंसेस देखते हैं, रिसर्च प्रोग्राम्स करवाते हैं, एक्स्ट्रा कोर्सेज आउटसाइड ऑफ स्कूल फ्री में ऑनलाइन आइडेंटिफाई करके कहते हैं कि ये ट्राई करो और बताओ कि क्या आपको ये अपील कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है. तो वो हम कॉन्स्टेंटली उनको एनालाइज करते रहते हैं और उनकी प्रोफाइल को भी बढ़ाते रहते हैं.
सो आपने बताया कि ये 8th क्लास से आप स्टार्ट करते हैं. 9th से
जी,
आफ्टर 8th क्लास.
Yes.
और कहाँ तक इसकी लिमिट है?
सो जी, इन वन सेंस इसकी लिमिट नहीं है. यूजुअली स्पीकिंग A1 तक प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग होती है, या अगर आप इंटर के सिस्टम में है, FA FSC के फर्स्ट ईयर में, अगर आप IB सिस्टम में है, DP फर्स्ट ईयर में. दैट इज बिकॉज जो सेकेंड ईयर का बिल्कुल फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर होता है, आप उस वक्त कॉलेजेस को अप्लाई कर रहे होते हैं. आपके पास वो वक्त नहीं होता कि आप अपने प्रोफाइल को बिल्ड करें, बिकॉज यू आर सो बिजी फिलिंग आउट college applications, writing essays, making your CV, doing interview prep. So the time you have is from class 1 till class 11.
Okay, right. So इसमें आप समर वेकेशंस में आप क्या करते हैं, या थ्रू आउट द ईयर they can come to you anytime?
They come to us at any time, but जो हमारे structured programs हैं, गर्मियों में we give 4 to 6 weeks depending on the partner organization for the summer internship, and winter में हम volunteer work कराते हैं for 10 to 12 days because winter holidays are so short.
So do you have any collaboration with any school?
We are the in-house counselors for 8 schools.
8 schools.
At the moment we're in discussions with a few more as well, so inshallah let's see what this year brings.
So ये तो बहुत अच्छा. अगर 8 schools भी हैं तो 8 schools में hundreds of students.
Absolutely. So this is we work in a very systematic way. So सबसे पहले हम workshops देते हैं to the students, and मैं तो बल्कि advocate करती हूँ that the parents ought to sit in on this as well, जिस पे हम उनको macro overview देते हैं कि जी what do you need for college depending on आप क्या पढ़ना चाहते हैं और कहाँ जाना चाहते हैं. आपको लम्स के लिए क्या ज़रूरत है, आपको आगा खान के लिए क्या ज़रूरत है. Very very different from how King Edward would look at it, for instance. So we give them first the workshop, and then depending on the drive of the student, the ambitions of the student, they may or may not sign up. So this is an optional activity that we extend to the students. And frankly, अगर बच्चे में drive नहीं है, तो ये process ना parents के through आप enforce कर सकते हैं, ना external counselor के through. तो it's very important कि आप figure out करें कि बच्चे का passion क्या है. Unless आप ये identify नहीं करेंगे, बच्चा motivated नहीं होगा.
So once you find the passion, what is the next step?
Then is the on-ground testing. So after consultation with the parents, and I put a lot of emphasis on this because this is Pakistan. This is not America. This is not that the kid is going to take a loan and go to college, right? We have to operate in our circumstances. So in consultation with parents, we determine, okay, gee, we will build the profile, let's say towards medicine. That is the first step after the testing. The second step is we give them exposure on ground on different platforms. Agar middle of the school year hai, obviously we will not encourage the child to do any on ground observerships because we don't want your grades to be impacted. We will only do that during the breaks. So breaks may, for instance, medicine may we have partnerships with Shalimar Hospital, with Sahara for Life Trust, with Chuktai Labs. And when we send our kids to these places, that is where they will realize, and that is where we get the feedback from, क्या ये profession मेरे लिए है?
Honestly, मुझे तो ये सुन के बहुत मजा आ रहा है कि बच्चे को 11th और 12th क्लास में ही पता चल जाता है कि मैं डॉक्टर हूँ भी कि नहीं, मैं इंजीनियर हूँ भी कि नहीं, या मैं अकाउंटेंट हूँ भी कि नहीं.
Can I stand a site of blood? क्या मैं public hospital में operate or function कर सकता हूँ? Because let's be honest, this generation is not our generation. हमने उनको बहुत protected तरीके से बड़ा किया है. For the most part, they've lived in a bubble. तो अगर आपने मेडिसिन करना है, मेडिसिन की बेस्ट यूनिवर्सिटीज आर पाकिस्तान's public universities with the exception of Aga Khan. And if you're going to send them to a public university with the public training hospitals, they need to know what they look like before they go there, because once they're there, it's too late. You know, they're wasting a lot of time, then
Time and
changing
money and
exactly.
so many things. So after this, what is the next step? Like this one is the second step. आपने उन देख लिया कि ये हमने इनको इंटर्नशिप के लिए यहाँ भेजना है. इंटर्नशिप हो गई, you find out the profession कि ये फ्यूचर में what they can do. उसके बाद next.
उसके बाद over the course of the year, हम
So do you help them to find the universities or colleges?
Absolutely. That's the main area where it all ends up going. But I feel that we are the only ones who are not giving the students the fish. We're teaching them how to fish. And so जो हमारा काम है from grade 9 to grade 11, this is in a sense unique. Nobody else is doing this, and we put in a lot of time and effort to go to all these private and public, including, for instance, Wall City Lahore Authority में, for us to make an MOU with Kamran Saab took over a year because the bureaucratic processes are so slow. तो हमने बहुत मेहनत से programs बच्चों के लिए बनाए हैं. To my knowledge, no one else is doing this.
जी, even मेरी knowledge में भी नहीं.
And then when the student goes into A1 or inter or DP, that is when we switch gears to college applications. We are not agents. We don't have any panel of universities. We look at what are the best universities in the world. We have a global approach for the subject you want to study. That's where we would ideally like to begin with. However, so ji, if the parent comes to us and says कि we have a relative in London और हम चाचा जो है मेलबर्न में और हमने सिर्फ इधर ही भेजना है, because once again that's a typical Pakistani response, then we will work according to whatever the family tells us. If they tell us we are interested in PR, we're interested in a long-term process, आप हमें बताइए, हम कनाडा की तरफ देखें, हम जर्मनी की तरफ देखें, we will guide you according to that. But अगर ये constraints नहीं है, the way to ideally do this, there are a couple of organizations which rank universities by subject globally. The most popular ones are Times Higher Education and QS Top News World Ranking. यहाँ से आप देखिए कि जी मेरे सब्जेक्ट में मैं आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस पढ़ना चाहती हूँ. What are the best universities in the world for artificial intelligence? अच्छा, मेरे grades ये हैं, मेरे profile ये है, मेरे लिए what are target, match, and safety universities? We also put in the filter of language. So, for instance, आप देखेंगी आजकल के ज़माने में engineering and technology की काफ़ी best universities are in Asia. That is the place where the innovation is taking place. Very different from what Pakistani families tend to think. However, many of these universities will not be in English. If they are in China, then they're being taught in Mandarin and so on. So we will only recommend courses which are completely in English. I do not, I would not recommend.
Even in Germany, they don't use English. They use their own language.
So there's a change.
There's a change?
There is a change. Masters may you will find now many programs in English.
In Germany?
In Germany.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And at the undergraduate level, you will also find a few more in their area of specialization. So you'll find a few programs in English in engineering, for instance, or computer science. Much less so for, let's say, law or psychology. वो आपको English में नहीं मिलेंगे, वो आपको German में ही मिलेंगे. So that's where we come in. And we can tell you, oh, okay, आपका.
It's really very informative. मुझे लगता है कि हर पेरेंट को और स्टूडेंट को ये जरूर सुनना चाहिए. ये वाला इंटरव्यू जरूर देखना चाहिए.
Thank you.
Right. So हमारा तो इसके ऊपर ही काफ़ी हमारी लंबी डिबेट हो गई. आपने बहुत सी रिसर्च वर्क भी किया है, बेनज़ीर इनकम सपोर्ट और अर्बन सिटी. सो उसके बारे में कुछ बताइए. क्या ये आपकी रिसर्च वर्क थी जिसने आपको IV के लिए सपोर्ट किया?
My research work जी, because once again I am an economist by profession, हम सब कुछ डेटा लेके आगे चलते हैं. We don't just recommend something without the research. तो हम हर चीज़ में हमारे पास एक back end इनफैक्ट लोग हैं जो स्टूडेंट्स से इंटरेक्ट भी नहीं करते, उनका सिर्फ ये काम है कि वो फ्रंट एंड लोगों को सपोर्ट करें कि जो भी रिसर्च आपने करनी है कौन सी, वो डेटा निकाल के आपको दिखाएंगे ताकि आप उस पर रिकमेंडेशंस दें, सो दैट देयर डेटा ड्रिवन recommendations. The work that I've really enjoyed the most, or enjoyed a lot in my previous life, is looking at targeting mechanisms of social welfare programs. So, चाहे government की ज़कात program थी, बैतुल माल था, Benazir income support program, which is now, you know, the name keeps on changing depending on the government which is in place, or even microfinance programs. मैंने इन programs पे काम करते हुए बहुत enjoy किया है. I like seeing how do you improve targeting.
और आपको काफी awards भी मिले.
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह जी.
So वो आपके कौन-कौन से awards थे?
I mean, within the World Bank, so you know they recognize you for some of the work that you've done, giving you, you know, उस ज़माने में structural adjustment credit लाया जाता था, तो team की recognition होती थी, तो it was over that. In Harvard, I was recognized for my work on research on gender and public policy. I got the best research award for that in the entire university.
Wow.
So very, very happy about that. It's called the James Mansbridge Award. I was also, first year mein, there is a challenge that they give all students, and it's called, there's a 2-week kind of experience जो वो आपको immerse करते हैं, ग्रुप्स भी बनाते हैं, इंडिविजुअल टास्क भी देते हैं. तो जो इंडिविजुअल था, I was the winner of that task, and I was then sent to UN to present my work. So that was very fulfilling as well. And then the governor of Punjab has recognized our work for profile building as far as Eye on Ivy is concerned. We also got the International School Awards in Dubai for our model. So what I'm very proud about, more than my individual achievements, is that Eye on Ivy is now known not just in Pakistan. We now have an office in the US as well, and we're looking to expand further this year, for our credibility and transparency and ethical way in which we work. We will not invent stuff that the student has not done. I'm very particular about that. So I'll be honest, many families, I would say a good 10 to 15%, after the first meeting in Pakistan will not come back, because they would be like, if we're giving you money, either write the essays for us or make up that the child has done X, Y, or Z, and we will like, we will give you those internships, but we will not give you a transcript or a certificate if the student has not done it. And so we've been recognized for our work in this regard as well. Internationally, we've also made a lot of partnerships with organizations in the US, in Canada. Getting students research opportunities is also something I'm very passionate about. So इसमें हमने Duke University के साथ collaboration की है, where we are currently running a free science competition for any Pakistani student. That they will get monetary prizes for. So, that's a very big deal. We've tried to spread the word as much as we can aapke platform. So hopefully we can, raise or spread the word even further. But the end kind of goal is that we build the students' character and capabilities so that they are prepared for whichever field they want to go in.
Right. A quick message for the students and parents.
Work hard. There are no shortcuts in life. So I know that students and parents in Pakistan, they're eyeing the top universities, but then know that you have to put in the requisite amount of work and effort to get there. If you wake up in 03 and tell me, now I'm ready to start working, I can tell you it's already late. It has to begin from 01. And it has to be the drive of the student. This cannot be dictated by the parents. This cannot be dictated by the external counselor. This can only come from within. And our role and the role of the parents, I feel, is to guide the students, tell them their options, and then let the student make their decision. Because every child is
unique.
Is a different flower, and you can't make them all the same. They shouldn't be. And so you have to figure out what are his or her strengths and how do I let them bloom.
Thank you so much, Shanza. आपसे बात करके I really enjoyed और मुझे बहुत अवेयरनेस भी हुई इन सब चीज़ों की. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
No, my pleasure.